Hey, Desties and Bride friends. So this is so funny and it's like dear to my heart and it's okay, so I'm just gonna get to it. Today I'm sharing a recording of this Desti bride right here. That's me 30 days before our wedding. So I recorded it on the 30-day mark and I was all warm and fuzzy and I shared everything because obviously I have the BlackDesti blog, but I really just went really in detail of the stuff before the 200-day journey. So it was the proposal, the engagement, and then everything, or at least a lot of stuff leading up to the 30-day mark, and so many tips. My whole thing has always been, I'm making these mistakes while planning my destination wedding, so why not share the wealth? And that's exactly what this episode was. So it's not a lot of details for me to share right now. If you're feeling like getting some great tips and then just getting to know me a little bit more, I really recommend this episode for you. I re-listened to it and I really love it. I'm so glad that I did it. I haven't re-listened to it since then, and it's just kind of crazy. So I hope that you enjoy it. If you are planning your destination wedding, let me know. Give me hashtag I'm a Desti and let me know where you're getting married and when you're getting married so that I can continue to give you advice and tips and gather the interviews of these Desti brides and Desti pros that are all about helping you plan your destination wedding, because that's what we do. So make sure that you drop that in the comments below. And this is the Desti Marathon. So this was an episode from the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings podcast. We are coming to Desti TV. And I'm excited about it. So every single day it'll be a new episode from season 1. And then January 2019 brings season 2 to you. And don't forget to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, then you won't be notified of any of the new tips. So let's not miss out. So hit that subscribe button and ding that bell, and you will be notified the second a brand new episode comes out. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, let me know. All details are waiting for you in DESTILAND. The link to that is below. DESTILAND is Desti HQ. We have everything that you need. So click that link. And I hope that you enjoy this. It's really great. I'm so cheesy. I'm just smiling because it's so great. Like, I really love this, and I'm so happy that I did it. It memorializes me, and I really think that you guys should do something like this too. So record yourself. I did my journal, and it was awesome, and I really recommend it. You may not want to blast it in the public like I did, but just journal on your own. Just write, today I did this, and I'm so happy I did that, and I wish I would have done this, and then you can always come back to it, and it's awesome. So this is just a perfect episode for that. And it also gives you tips too, because I can't not give you tips. So I love you guys. I hope that you enjoy it. If you ever have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I will see you tomorrow. Today makes 30 days until my own Desti wedding. It'll be 29 days on this episode's release date, actually. But we had a joint-ish bachelor/bachelorette party last weekend in Atlanta. My 32nd birthday was just this past Monday. We confirmed our welcome event space and we made our final bank wire payment on our food and drinks for our wedding reception all in this 1 week. So I am on a crazy high right now. So today's episode is totally different than our last 10 episodes. Well, 11 if you count the intro. But I was preparing another interview for you all and I said, you know what, I'm getting married in less than a month, so fuck it. I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy, so I'm switching it up. So I scrapped that episode. It will come soon at a later date, but today it's just you and me. So in our time together, I have had the opportunity to introduce you all to some of the greatest people that I've met so far and connected with. And I have plenty more guests, but I want to get to know you, and I really wanted you guys to get to know me too because I truly love what I'm doing. And I have some things to share at this point. So I want to help you plan the best destination wedding for you and your honey. and have a great time doing it because life is too damn short to do anything else. And as you probably know by now, I'm a firm believer that when planning a destination wedding, we need more than just a few pretty pictures to try to copy for our big day or our big weekend. No shade to Instagram and Pinterest. I use you. I love you for sure. And don't get me wrong, we can't forget the inspirational photos. But with the Bride Friend's Guide to Destination Weddings podcast, the objective is to include how-tos and pros and cons and pricing and budget breakdowns and emotional advice and recommended vendors and real stories with full transparency from couples that have taken on and mastered the journey to DESTILAND. So I'm ready to start putting my own business out there too. And I have to be honest and tell on myself right now. So here's the thing. I have a bunch of blog posts and tips and ideas that are written and they're not fully fleshed out because I've been nervous to really put them out there and to talk on my own from my own perspective. When I say it out loud, it sounds silly, but when negative thoughts start swirling around in your head and they get to brewing, they can sound very powerful if you give them permission to do so. Hey, I'm human, and I really just felt like I had no business telling anyone what to do until I had done it successfully. And at this point, I'm realizing that I have a lot of experiences, and I have every right to share my wealth too. I'm obviously not a pro quite yet. I'm working on that. And my wedding is 30 days away and I'm not afraid anymore. The negative thoughts no longer have permission to take up my space in my mind. So this is kind of my coming out party. I've had a 2-year engagement, and while planning, I had the bright and super ambitious idea to start my own blog and to have a daily journal beginning at day 200. And then to start this very podcast to interview past Destis and Desti Pros to get more information out there for all of you destination wedding hopefuls and lovers. I've connected and collected a lot of different advice and tips and perspectives, some of which I'm applying to my own wedding. And to be only 30 days out means that I have a ton to share at this point. So I didn't want to overthink this and psych myself out. So I'm going to kind of interview myself in a way. But not in the weird way that it sounds. So today, I just want to talk about how I started with this Desti wedding planning journey and give some tips. And then if some funny stuff comes up, then that would be even better. I have a couple of things that I wanted to make sure that I shared with you guys too, of what you could possibly expect. So yeah, before we get rolling, I do have a couple of notes. So I wanted to just remind you that every episode has show notes attached to them. So you can find them at bridefriends.com, and in each episode show notes, I add links and notes about this episode. And depending on the interview, there will even be a photo gallery. So if it's a Desti interview and they're talking about their wedding planning, then you can see their wedding gallery and provided list of vendors and all those goodies on the show notes at bridefriends.com. And then also at the end of each interview, I give a different motivational quote. So if you click off before the end, you're missing out there. And I've received this question a few times and I'm really excited about it. But the question is, can you as a listener provide tips or be interviewed as a Desti or a Desti Pro on the Bride Friends Guide? And the short answer is yes. Yes. Send me a message on social media or leave me a message on the Ask a Desti section of bridefriends.com, which is the voicemail. Or you can just shoot me an email at omi@bridefriends.com. That's OMI at bridefriends with an S.com. I appreciate the willingness to share Desti knowledge. So yeah, please just send me something and then I'm sure we can talk and let me know how you'd like to help and we'll figure something out. So thank you for asking those questions. There's been a couple of people who have asked that. So, or actually, should I say a few? So I'm really excited about that right now. And then finally, in podcast land, ratings are everything. And without them, no one will be able to find us here in DESTILAND and see how great we are. And I won't know what you like and what you don't like about the show. So whether you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, please just take a moment to leave me a rating. Seriously, it takes like a couple of seconds to give the stars, 5 being the highest, and maybe a minute to leave a comment as well. So thank you in advance, and don't forget to subscribe. I have a great show for you today, but before I get to that, I wanted to tell you about a great wedding website and app company that I'm using for my Desti wedding, which is Appy Couple. Appy Couple is a modern wedding website and interactive app that practically builds itself, and let's be honest, Desti weddings require more care and details, and Appy Couple is the perfect choice if you want to invite and impress. Appy Couple lets you organize all aspects of your wedding, from individual event details and RSVPs to registries and every last detail that your guests will need. I'm talking travel, accommodations, passports, maps, weather, everything. Guests can take polls, they can get automatic reminders to RSVP. They can even do things like call an Uber and upload pictures and messages directly through your website and app. It's super easy to set up, and with over 500 stylish designs, which you can change at any time you want, your app and website are always coordinated and beautifully in sync. And you get all of this and more for only $39. Flat rate and no monthly charges. You can't beat it. And it's kind of fun telling people that your wedding has an app. Now, I not only use Appy Couple for my own destination wedding, but the Bride Friends podcast is now an affiliate, and you can go to bridefriends.com/Appy Couple to learn more about it. You can see my pros and cons, and you can check out all the goodies that they're offering right now and sign up. So have an Appy wedding and get not only a beautiful and fully customizable wedding website, but your very own app. And again, that's bridefriends.com/Appy Couple, which is happy couple without the H. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, where should I start? How about the beginning? Yeah, so I've known my fiance since I was like 8 years old. He was 9, I'm assuming. Yeah, we're 8 and 9. Because our oldest siblings have been together for just that long. We would see each other on random summers and for the holidays, and the older we got, really the closer we became. We went through our relationships and we grew to become like really, really good friends. And we both went through really messy and emotional breakups in our mid to late 20s. And well, really mine was more messy. But we ended up going to Jamaica together for what at the time was his friend's destination wedding. He was seeing someone at the time, but it wasn't serious enough to be taking people out of town. And he really just needed a friend so that he wasn't like traveling dolo. And he asked me if I wanted to go to Jamaica to be his +1. And I'm like, hell yeah. So at that point, the feelings were obviously there between us, but we were still in that friend zone. So we had a great time, and I never really cared about getting married. But this wedding, like I call this wedding the wedding that changed everything. At the time they were, like I said, at the time they were his friends, but they've really grown to become our super close friends, Frank and Danielle. And their wedding was something special and caused that light bulb to pop up over my head. I mean, I remember just sitting there like, I don't even know these people, but this is amazing. And that was the first time that I ever really thought, this is something that I can do. The vows, the energy, the love, the fact that they were young Black people like me with a connection that I have never witnessed in my life. I mean, it did it. It was giving me life, and marriage was no longer off my radar. Was I ready for it at the time? No. But was it one of those, nah, I'm not interested? No, it was no longer like that. And the magic of a destination wedding was absolutely planted in my mind. So fast forward a few months to early May, and Che and I took Che. So I'm funny. My fiance's name is Doug. His middle name is Che, and I'll probably use it interchangeably, but I'm going to probably just stick with Che because that's kind of what I do naturally. But in case you're wondering, that's who Che is and that's who Doug is. I'm not engaged to 2 different men or anything. So a few months, they got married. So Frank and Danielle got married in September. And fast forward to early May, and Che and I took a weekend trip to Riviera Maya, Mexico for my birthday. And we had a really great stay at Secrets Maroma Beach, which is now our wedding resort. But he actually just reminded me that he was the one who found the resort, and he's all about TripAdvisor. So if you're looking for reviews on any place or thinking of traveling, be sure to check and monitor TripAdvisor. Like, seriously, it's amazing. But anyway, we had a great trip, and during it, I remember we were saying something like, you know, this is really great. And if we were to ever come back, we would love to have a group, like our crew, like our people with us, to really just have a really great time. So, of course, that's what we plan on doing soon. But at this time, fast forward to May 27th, and we decided to be in an actual committed relationship. And I moved from Atlanta to Pittsburgh, like November 1st. And we've really been magical ever since. Like, he proposed during a surprise trip 2 years ago to the Dominican Republic for my 30th birthday. And I'll talk more about that in a different episode. But needless to say, I said yes. And it was funny that on the way back home, the TSA agent, you know, you give him your passport and he asks you, you know, what are you doing or what was your trip for, whatever. And we're telling him that, you know, he just proposed and we're getting married. And he shocked the hell out of me because his first question was, when are you getting married? And I'm like, dude, I just told you that we just got engaged. You have my passport in hand. We're on our way home and you're asking me for a date already. Like, he was really preparing me for that question a zillion more times, but it just was so early. It was just kind of like, really? Mr. TSA agent, I have no fucking idea because I'm still on my newly engaged high. So can I please stay here and not just start planning my wedding immediately? Did I say that? No. But actually, I don't think I said anything. I probably just stood there looking crazy, and Che responded in some very nice, wonderful way like he does, saying that we don't know and it's all still new and blah, blah, blah. But I remember just being like, really? That's a hell of a question. So when we got home, we decided to just continue to bask in our engagement period, and we had created a rule. We made a rule to not discuss wedding planning for 90 days. Now, I did do a blog post on the reasons we decided to do this, if you're curious to kind of know a little bit deeper. But we named it Wedding Planning Abstinence because I still feel like, you know, you just have to kind of check out for a moment and just really enjoy your engagement. I feel like it was the best decision we ever made. We both feel that way. And yeah, I think the blog post has like 5 reasons why we decided to wait the 90 days. And I'm long-winded, so I ended up having to split the post into 2 parts, very much like me and my fiance's persona. Part 1 was emotional and part 2 was practical. I'm the emotional one. But my favorite reason was just the fact that waiting meant that we were setting the tone and we really empowered ourselves by doing things our way. Here's the thing. Everyone may not like the fact that they don't get immediate details about your wedding. But here's the other thing. It isn't about them. And this is a great way to set that precedent. It's kind of an easy way to get used to setting boundaries, and taking control of your wedding planning early can make things easier later when it becomes a battle over everything else. Venues and dates and napkins and themes and stuff that certain people may want to have input in. So you're kind of just doing what's best for you. Not kind of, you're definitely just doing what's best for you from the jump, and no one can or should really be mad at it. So it really felt good. I loved setting that tone, and we just carried that on all the way through. So once those 90 days were over, we jumped right in and started trying to figure out where we were and when we were going to get married. We never considered anything other than a destination wedding, honestly. After our friends Frank and Danielle's wedding, we kind of knew that no matter who we were marrying, that was the best option. So it was a no-brainer once we realized that we were the ones that were going to get married to each other. We sort of just jumped into destination wedding planning. So yeah, we ended up trying to figure out where we wanted to have our wedding. So we just both kind of went separately to think of some different places. So it was like he proposed in the Dominican Republic, so that was an option, and we love that resort, and that beach is amazing. And then of course Mexico was an option, and then we just kind of started to branch out a little bit and just think of places we might have like wanted to go or that we liked. So our friends got married in Jamaica, and we really like Jamaica, so that was one. I think I was like the Bermuda, the Bahamas, Aruba. We knew that we wanted it to be beachy, great weather, and I feel like we almost immediately decided on our date. I don't remember any problems with that. I feel like we were like May 27th. I don't know, like May 27th is the day that he actually, it's the day that we decided to be in a relationship together. So that's actually going to be our wedding anniversary. It'll be our 4-year relationship is the day that we actually get married. So really excited about that. But yeah, we figured out, I know what we did. So we put together a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet had the resort, it had the temperatures, like the average temperatures, it had like not even just the resort, it was like the actual country or island or whatever, and then it had like top resorts, and then it had pricing, and then reviews, like the average rating, because I told you TripAdvisor is like it was really, really big for us for using it. And we kind of just narrowed it down little by little and just finally decided, we reached out to planners in Jamaica, and we reached out to planners in Mexico. And Jamaica was not good with that. We reached out to maybe 4, and no one replied to us. Like I ended up getting one reply, I don't know, maybe like 4 months later or something crazy like that. And there's no way that with that response time, I can actually have a wedding with you. Like there's no way that if that's how you're responding to just an initial inquiry, that I can move forward and have a relationship and plan my actual wedding. You guys would drive me completely crazy. So at that point, we had already decided on Mexico anyway. And I keep talking about the blog, but I'm putting the final touches on a blog post on the BlackDesti blog for next week. But yeah, I feel like the best ways for you to really think about where do I want to have my destination wedding. Like some people just already know off the rip, I want to get married in X country or X resort actually. But if you have no idea, I'd say the top 3 ways to figure out where you want to have your destination wedding, if you don't know, is to ask you and your honey these 3 questions. Actually, hold up. Let me start by saying, get a travel agent. I really don't know why people don't get a travel agent. I've interviewed quite a few Desties at this point, and just do it. Why would you want to be responsible for coordinating and organizing and answering everyone else's flights and passports and resort stay questions on top of your own? And then what happens if there's an emergency or someone misses their flight or whatever reason? You're trying to be all up in your wedding planning mode. Not even planning anymore. At that point, you're done planning. You just want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then you're getting a phone call because somebody's flight's messed up or somebody's not coming or they can't get this or they need that or No, you don't need any of that. Just get a wedding planner, please. I mean, yeah, you need a wedding planner, but get a travel agent, please. And get a wedding planner too while you're at it. Even if it's just a day of coordinator. But yeah, get a damn travel agent. They cost you nothing. And if by some chance you find a cheaper rate, which people like to talk about, they can usually just match it or tell you why it really isn't a cheaper rate. If you're still on the fence or you want to know more about this, listen to episode 6. Yeah. 6. Yeah. That's my interview with travel agent Sarah Klein of Time for Travel Limited. But really, don't be hard-headed. Get a travel agent. That's my number one advice to you. Do you really want to deal with all that? My guess is no. Seriously. I guarantee you will get enough crazy questions from your guests, so you don't need any extra work. Trust me. But where was I? Oh yeah. Ask yourself these questions. 1, are there any places that you have been and really loved and wanted to go to, or more importantly, don't want to go to? So this can be fun for you both to talk about each other. You never know what's really going to come out, but just think about where you've been already and places that you really enjoyed. That's what we ended up doing. We ended up, like I said, our very first vacation together was in Mexico at Secrets Maroma. And we went through a lot of different ideas, but we ended up just coming back to that place. It was like kind of special for us, but we definitely took an inventory of everything. What did we really love? What don't we really like? Anywhere that we just might want to go one day. So yeah, have fun with that one. Number 2, will your wedding be an adults only event or with children? This is huge. Traveling with kids is more expensive for your guests and therefore may affect your destination choice. It is what it is, but it will definitely affect your resort choice once you narrow down that location too. Because there are adult only and then there are family-friendly resorts. So figure that out early on. You don't want to tell people that it's going to allow kids and then change your mind when you decide that you like an adult only resort. That can't go well. And then you really don't want to do it vice versa either. So try to, nail that one down. And then the third one I'd say is decide on if you want a legal or symbolic wedding. Difference is legal is literally, when I say legal, legal in the country that you're going to get married or the state or wherever your Desti wedding is going to be. But figure out if you want it to be official there or if you're comfortable with doing a symbolic wedding, which means that you've done your paperwork already at home and then you're coming to do the actual ceremony piece at your destination. So if you want it to be legal, make sure that you have and understand all of the requirements and are fully ready and able to do that. That's big. Yeah, I think that those are like the really, really big questions. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good start for us, but talking about guests made me think about some of the crazy and somewhat insensitive questions that can come from guests. So here's a little treat. Maybe you might laugh, you may cry, you may roll your eyes. Who knows? I know I've done all of these things when I've heard them. But here's some things that you may hear from your guests. Some I've heard personally from my own people, and others have come from interviews, and some are just a combination of both. So you may hear, why is the resort you chose so whatever? Why is it so far? Why is it so expensive? Why is it so modern? Why is it so who the fuck knows? People will ask you this question. I'm assuming they're not really thinking. Like, do you really want me to answer that? Because it is. I don't know. Because I like it. Because I want it. Like, it's kind of an obvious question, but that's people just being people. So that's a good one. What else have I heard? Oh, yeah. Close in the same vein. Why are flights so expensive? So, I do not own an airline, but chances are you've received a lot of notice in advance to get your flight. So if you're waiting till the last minute, then that may be why they're so expensive. I don't know they just are. They're just the price that they are going to be. And I don't know how you expect me to answer that question. If anyone can think of a good way to answer that question, please let me know. Because I'm super curious on that one. That one stumps me. I don't know. Why are they so expensive? I don't know. It could be my fault. I don't know how it could be my fault, but yeah, anyway. And okay, I'm sorry. So you get the people who, while you're like, I don't know, you're somewhere and they go, when is my final payment due again? And it's like, some people may really know the answer to that off the top of their head. Maybe I should know the answer to that top of my head. I never really did. I have kind of a window, kind of an idea. We didn't have an actual payment plan, but you know, you had your initial deposit need to be paid by this time. And then there's a lot of other dates. Like you can get 100%. You have to like finalize if you want to keep your room by this date. And then you have to, I don't know, if you decide to pull out, you have to pull out by this amount by this date to get like, I don't know, 75% back of your room and blah, 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 blah. But asking me when your final payment due again, I don't know off the top of my head, but I can tell you that it's on my wedding website. It's on the app. It's on any of the documents that you receive from the travel agent, but you just really want me to tell you. So sorry, chances are, I don't know. I have no idea. And my personal favorite question to hate is, when is your wedding again? Yes, when is your wedding again? From a guest. This isn't a coworker. This isn't a stranger. This isn't a neighbor. This is a guest who is coming to your wedding that asks you when your wedding is. Well, let's see. I sent you a save the date. I sent you an invitation. It's on my website. It's on my app. You've RSVP'd. You've booked your trip. And it's the most important event in my life at the moment. And that's exactly what I want to hear from you right now. You don't even know when it is. And you also think it's okay to ask me about it instead of looking at all this shit I've already made available to you. Thanks, friend. I'm glad that this is important to you, and I can't wait to see you at my wedding, whenever it is. Now, I might be having a Zilla moment. I'm not really a fan of the Zilla comment, or the name, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, really? You really feel comfortable asking me that? It's so like, I think obviously they're not really thinking about it. And some people may not care. So I would really love, you know what? This can be like another one of the conversation pieces. But let me know if I'm tripping right now. Is this something that you would even care about? Am I the only person that's caring about this? Which is highly likely. But let me know how you feel about that question from a guest. When is your wedding again? So yes. People have really asked these questions, and I'm kind of working on a blog post right now to add more of the questions because I just think that you kind of have to make fun of it to keep from crying or setting some shit on fire. So yeah, trying to take it personally. I've heard things, some of these myself, and then I've just heard them just while I'm interviewing other Destis. So people ask the craziest shit. They don't know. And they don't mean anything by it is the reality of it. At least I don't think so. Sometimes you wonder, like, you being for real right now? But anyway, chances are they don't know. So let's give them a break and just vent about it together. So yeah, I know that was just like a little bit, but that's kind of how I decided to have a destination wedding. I feel like, you know, I've knew a guy, fell in love with a guy. He asked me to marry him. I said yes. We wanted to wait a little bit and enjoy it. We decided that we wanted to have a destination wedding. And we picked our place with spreadsheets, which you will hear lots of. Spreadsheets. Yeah, and now we're getting married in 30 days on May 27th, 2017 in Riviera Maya, Mexico. So I can't wait to talk about it more. There's so much more to this journey. I told you it's been 2 years, so look at where we are now. That's a huge fast forward, and I can't wait to share more. But yeah, that's the gist of it. I hope you guys have a really, really great week. This has been fun. Thank you, my Destis and bride friends. I hope that I was able to introduce myself a little bit and brighten your day a little. And I thank you so very much for hanging with me and letting me have a Desti Chat 30 days away from my wedding. I have no idea what I'll have for you next week, but it'll be good. I promise.